Now, 30 people have been confirmed dead, while tens of thousands have been left homeless following the devastation caused by Tropical Storm Anna earlier this week. It formed over Madagascar, wreaking havoc before making its way across the Mozambique Channel onto Mozambique land and Malawi, where it downed power lines earlier this week. Now, let's speak to a weather expert from the University of Pretoria, Professor Liesl Dyson, just to talk about this weather phenomenon. After all, we are in the beginning of the tropical cyclone season in southern Africa. Hence, that first one that has caused so much damage is named after the first letter of the alphabet, Anna. Prof, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. I mean, there was a lot of devastation. We were saved from it here in South Africa, unlike a few years ago when cyclone Idai came all the way from Mozambique and smashing Beira, the second largest city, and brought lots of rain to eastern parts of South Africa. This time around, we're largely spared. Just from your information, how bad was this?
So the storm actually developed over the Indian Ocean and then weakened as it moved over Madagascar, and then it started to redevelop again as it moved in over the Mozambique Channel, where the sea surface temperatures are very warm. So that's the reason that it redeveloped there. And then it moved into the continent north of Beira, luckily. So Beira got spared this time around. But there was quite a lot of devastation in places in Mozambique. Some bridges washed away. Some recently repaired bridges washed away, and then also into Malawi. At the moment, the system is quite weak. It's weakened considerably. It's definitely not a tropical cyclone anymore. It's just a tropical depression. It's a very large system. It's situated at the moment maybe somewhere over central Zimbabwe. But even over South Africa in Limpopo, you can see some of the higher cloud associated with this weather system. We're not expecting any severe weather over South Africa because of Anna, so that at least is fine. But even though it wasn't a very severe storm, it did cause quite a lot of devastation in the countries to our north.
Yeah, I mean, I've been receiving video clips from media people in Mozambique and showing the kind of weather damage and, as you said, bridges and roads and everybody being affected and thousands of people moving. I mean, this is named Tropical Storm Anna, which means there could be more coming. Could we see worse still to come, or is that not easy to forecast?
It's not so easy to forecast yet too far ahead. Anna is the first storm, as you mentioned yourself, but what is a bit interesting is that it's quite late in the season for Anna for the first tropical cyclone in the Indian Ocean to occur. So that's quite significant or interesting that it's only the first storm that has developed now. There's already another storm, and although it's not quite a tropical cyclone yet, the name is Sarai over the Indian Ocean, and this is expected to influence Mauritius and Reunion by the weekend. Some of the projections show that this storm may also move into the Mozambique Channel, but it's still very uncertain. That will only be by the end of next week, and it's very uncertain exactly what the path of this storm will be. But this time of the year, I know people hate it when meteorologists say this, but this time of the year is tropical cyclone season. So even though there's a lot of devastation.
Yeah, well, some of us in the media have had to learn that it's a tropical cyclone season now, a tropical storm season between now, March or April. And the fact that this first major one has started so late, as you said, could indicate that maybe the cyclone season this time might last beyond March.
Yes, we'll have to wait and see. It's really very difficult to make such a prediction at this stage.
Yeah, no, I mean, you've got more than 500,000 people whom we understand have been affected. And in fact, tomorrow I'm trying to get hold of the United Nations emergency services that have issued a statement earlier about the kind of humanitarian crisis that northern Mozambique and parts of southern Malawi may be faced with, particularly Mozambique, with many people having been displaced. And I'm just wondering, you mentioned the name. You said there is another one that's developing now, and I couldn't catch the name. of this new tropical storm that is developing, but we don't know whether it will become a full-blown a cyclone or not. What did you say it was?
Batsarai.
Batsarai.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Now, last week I interviewed a geologist in Durban, and we also spoke the other day with the MEC for Education in KwaZulu-Natal because of the coastline and just lying south of Mozambique. And sometimes the northern parts of KZN do get a little bit lashed by the heavy rains of a storm, like the eastern part of South Africa, parts of Limpopo, as you've said, and Mpumalanga. I mean, should we be bracing ourselves for possible more heavier storms that could reach our shores here, like in KZN, Prof?
That's a very interesting question. You remember also last year there was Eloise that caused devastation over KZN and as well as the Mpumalanga and Limpopo provinces, especially the Lowveld and Escarpment. So there's a research that has been done by our colleagues at Wits University that has indicated that the cyclones have a tendency to come further south. Now, if this is true, then we are expected to get more cyclones in a changing climate. But conversely, there's other people from the Agricultural Research Council who also did research, and he showed that the tropical cyclones are expected to move further north in a changing climate. So it's a bit uncertain exactly what will happen to tropical cyclones in the future. But one thing is for sure, Mozambique is going to always get them. They are right in they've got a very long coastline of 1,000 kilometers long. So somewhere, whether it be south or north, they're going to be influenced by these tropical storms. And there's nothing you can do about it. In fact, if it wasn't for Madagascar, that acts as a barrier, the continent Africa would get many more cyclones than we currently do. So in a sense, poor Madagascar gets it, but we're in a way protected from the cyclones.
We have to thank Madagascar for protecting the rest of Southern Africa from more tropical cyclones. But we'll have to wait and see what this tropical cyclone season will bring. The first one has struck, devastating northern parts of Mozambique and southern parts of Malawi, dumping a lot of rain also in Zimbabwe this week. About 500,000 people have been displaced. At least 30 people are known to have died so far.